All rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Attleboro School Committee for Monday, March 11th. This is your notice that this meeting is being electronically recorded. We're actually going to start tonight's meeting with our student advisory report. Mr. Bowie?
Okay, so a few things on my paper today. So two of these are from Ms. Campbell. One of them came about the Future Focus Summit for New England Computer Aid Drafting, Engineering, and Robotics Teachers. That's a long title. But that was held here. It consisted of 65 teachers from all over New England, along with our own Ms. Gubinov and Mr. Rugg. It was kind of a day of professional development, but also a day of kind of teaching the teachers, I guess. They learned tons of stuff, including industry trends, new technologies, recruitment practices, and presentations from experts on emerging technologies and how to keep the workplace kind of evolving. So that was definitely a major thing. We were sought out to host the event based off of our new, computer science, stuff like that, our new engineering units. But definitely people were amazed by how nice the school was. We had a lot of compliments. And even from the summit itself, it was the best one in their words since they started, which was about 20-something years ago. So that's pretty major. So I thought that was a nice thing. Secondly, our marketing CTE competed in the DECA competition, which is this Distributive Education Clubs of America. It's kind of like, I would say it's just the marketing CTE, but it's more than that. It's a little bit more broad. So they competed in competitions including Quiz Bowl, accounting, retail merchandising, principles of finance, and sports entertainment. The group came very close to advancing to the national conference, which is their first year doing it, and around 9,000 students go. So it's a pretty big metric. And then personally, I had something that I came up with. I was outside having a captain's practice for track, and I was looking at, I'm sure you guys have all seen the water that fills up by the bridge outside. And I was wondering that during the spring, I don't want to have a mosquito issue there. If you guys get what I mean, stagnant water, just around where a lot of kids are being dismissed, buses, people are running. So that's a really easy fix. Just drop in one of those tablets that bubbles up and that'll kill them. But I just wanted to bring that up to make sure that, I'm not getting any malaria. And that's pretty much it.
He's already on it.
The school building committee is aware of that issue and has already developed plans to address that this spring, but thank you.
And that's pretty much my recap for everything.
Excellent. Any questions for Mr. Bowie? All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is our superintendent's report, so I'll turn that over to Superintendent Sawyer.
Thank you, Chairman. First, the administration owes the committee a presentation on residency and the procedures for reasons that I think you understand based on the update from Friday. Due to a personnel issue, a family emergency, we're going to have to delay that report, but it's not forgotten, and hopefully we'll have that for you next time. I wanted to make a final pitch to families to join us on Thursday night, 6 o'clock, Night to Discover. We're very excited and ready to go, and we just know that it's going to be a great night and a great way to see all the things that are going on in the schools. Hope to see people there. On a serious note, surveys, which has been part of how schools operate for a long time, are getting a lot more attention these days as a part of the culture wars that have brought themselves to school districts, and administration has certainly been receiving concerns and questions about our practices around surveys for the last couple of years. I know that the administration last year in particular received quite a few concerns about our survey practices, and we admitted to many of the people that we met with that because there hadn't been concerns in the past, that we had a sort of a relaxed attitude about surveys, and we understood the concerns the parents were expressing to us, and have taken very seriously the request on the part of families to make sure that we're vetting our surveys, that we're being selective about surveys. I do appreciate the point that's made that every minute spent taking a survey is a minute that we're not educating kids. But there are surveys that I would say are very valuable to what we do, and that the reason why we survey students is to get their impressions about various things, depending on which one we're talking about, and that information can be very helpful. Some surveys, I think, are useful, others less so, and we understood the point being made about being selective, and I think we've taken that pretty seriously and done some serious work around that. One of the surveys that we do use and believe in is our MCIA survey. That helps us to get important information about how students feel about their educational experience. The data is a part of our work with MCIA, and we believe provides significant insight into actionable items about how to improve the job that we're doing with schools. In fact, one of the things that we really need to work on as a district is figuring out how to get enough of a return on parent surveys so that we could actually use the MCI survey with parents as well. It's designed to have a parent component. We would like to use it. The problem is that if you don't have enough of a return on the surveys, then the results are skewed by the sample size. So we as a district have struggled to get good responses on surveys to families, and so until we really solve that problem, we've been hesitant to use that survey. But it is an intention to do that because, again, we think that the research that the MCI survey is built on is helpful. That said, we have had concerns about MCIA expressed by some parents. In particular, it's a survey that we're giving all the way down through grades 3, and some parents expressed concerns about why we were asking kids demographic information, and wanted to know what that was about. So before I get into that, I just want to make a general comment that while I think it's certainly reasonable for people to ask why we're doing what we're doing, and people ask us for copies of the surveys, we provide them. We want to be transparent, but I just want to say it's the position of the administration that taking surveys does not hurt children. Right? The idea that somehow students are harmed by taking a survey is a concept that I push back on all the time. Being asked, students asking their impression about relevant matters, I don't think in and of itself is a thing that is a questionable practice. But I do appreciate some of again, how much time we're spending on that, things like that, I think can be very reasonable. And the point being made to us by parents last year was that why do we need to ask kids this demographic information? There are kids, don't we know this information? And the answer is yes, we do. So we worked with the survey provider to alter the way Attleboro conducts the survey so that rather than ask students several demographic questions, we just collect the information by recording their last SID. Now I'm going to get into some questions that have been raised this year that are related to that, but the idea here is that we were trying to be responsive to the concerns about the demographic information. We made the changes. Unfortunately, not all of the surveys actually were adjusted the way we expected them to be. We received, again, concerns from parents this year when we administered the survey, found a mistake in the way the programming had been done for our survey, and fixed that. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is proof that we're attentive and that we're working on things and that we make corrections when people let us know that we're having problems and things aren't working. So all those surveys are now as we expected them to be. And we did have some surveys that went out the same way that they did the year before. That was unexpected to us. We addressed that. But now we're getting concerns that people don't believe us when we say that the survey is anonymous. So, it used to be that why are we asking them these demographic questions? You have that information. Okay, well, to use that information, we have to know who the student is to be able to use their information. So we collect the last SID. So now people are saying, well, this isn't really anonymous. And I just wanted to explain to the committee and anybody who's listening home why, in fact, it actually is still anonymous, because we don't collect the survey data. MCIA collects the survey data. So they collect all of the answers to the questions, and we don't have that information. We do have the demographic information, and both the survey is connected to a LACID by what the student puts in as their LACID. And by the way, LACID is local area student ID. Mention that. I know schools are very jargony. So the student provides their LACID, and so the survey now has a LACID. So yes, the survey, the people collecting the survey have the LACID, right? But that number is meaningless to them, right? We, if we had their survey, could connect their survey answers to a LACID, but we don't, the school department doesn't have that. We don't have the surveys. They have the surveys, we have the LACID. The kids put in the LACID, and what we send to the people who do the survey is just the specific demographic information, but not name, right? So yes, we have the name that's associated with that LACID in the school district, but we never give that over in the information that lets them attach the demographic information to the survey results. So in fact, there's still a separation that we have information, they have information. Neither side has both, all the full information, and that's how we can, in fact, maintain anonymity on the surveys. So when we say that, we don't know who answered which question, that's true. Now, if we took the survey data from MCIEA, yes, we could look up using the LACID who the student is, but that never happens, right? We don't collect that information. So that is how we keep it separate, and they certainly don't know who these students are. All they get is that demographic information that we're no longer bothering students to ask the questions about. So this has come up enough times in the last few months that I thought I should brief the committee on that in case you're getting any questions about it. And certainly anybody watching at home, I wanted to explain all of that.
Thank you. Any questions?
All right, and then my final update for you this evening is about FY25. We did meet with City Hall last week, had an initial discussion. We were not provided a budget number yet. They're still going through their process. This is the first budget cycle for this administration, so I think it's understandable that they're working through their processes, and I can tell you they have already made changes to the way that they're conducting business over there, and it's refreshing to see a strong process being enacted. We are well aware that the city is facing, as it does every year, challenges. As I wrote my guest essay back in December, I've watched how it is always a challenge for the mayor to meet the varied needs of the city, right? This is the budget is a city budget. The schools are part of that. And, the schools' challenges, because we are underfunded pretty significantly, that I think is a matter of fact, isn't about, as I keep saying, isn't about budgeting. It's about funding. And this, the city's revenue leaves them in a position where they do not have the funds to, take care of all the problems that are on the table. And so there are always just tough decisions to be made, and we respect that process, and we're going to be good partners in that process, because in the end, at this point in the process, the pie has been set, right? There's a set amount of money that we're now working from, and the schools are going to get their share of that. We go back to City Hall on Friday. We're hoping to get a number at that point, and we'll certainly keep the committee informed as that process unfolds. But the public will get a full presentation of our proposed budget in early April.
Thank you. And I can say, over the weekend, I participated in a district meeting for MASC, the Massachusetts Association of School Committees, and it was actually District 8, which is career vocational technical high schools and our school districts. And the funding problem is not unique to Attleboro, as the administration has shared a number of times. We were fortunate to benefit from some of the increased funding from SOA, and as the administration shared back in, I think, January, there are some districts that lost money from the governor's initial budget. So I can say that MASC is planning a day on the Hill, an opportunity for school committee members to go up to Beacon Hill and advocate for more money. I believe they haven't sent the details out yet, but if memory serves from the discussion on Saturday, I believe it's planned for May 6th. So I will share that with the committee once I do get the follow-up details on that. And I mean, we're fortunate. I don't think we need to lobby Mr. Hawkins too hard because he has been a great partner and advocate for us. But I know that some of the others on the call expressed concern and frustration with their state delegation about a lack of response to concerns about funding. So, and apologies to Representative Scanlon, who was presenting when I joined the meeting late from a very loud indoor soccer field. So I apologize for that disruption to his presentation, but thank him for his support on this as well. Any questions regarding funding for the superintendent?
That concludes my report.
Excellent, thank you very much. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our February 26th, 2024 meeting.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to our consent agenda. We have 7 items tonight. We'll start with a motion to accept a donation in the amount of $1,840 from Education Development Center to be used for non-instructional supplies, including food. A motion to accept a contractual obligation royalty check in the amount of $108.30 from Ohio Pile Prints Incorporated for the school store marketing program at the high school. Motion to accept the contractual obligation in the amount of $55.90 from Planet Aid, Inc., as broken down in the check receipt dated February 6th, 2024. Motion to accept a donation in the amount of $182.24 to be deposited in the class of 2025 gifts donation line. Motion to accept an anonymous cash donation in the amount of $192.20 to the Drama Club gifts donation line at the Attleboro High School. Motion to accept a donation in the amount of $101.12 from Chick-fil-A to the National Honor Society gifts donation subaccount. And a motion to approve an overnight field trip proposal for 20 grade 10 to 12 students to attend the Skills USA state competition in Marlboro from April 25th through April 27th, 2024.
So moved.
Second. Excellent. Any discussion or comments from the committee? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right. So we're going to just give a moment. We have our spotlight event from Willett Elementary School. I believe the students are being organized outside, so we will give them a moment to come in and get prepared for us. So a warm welcome to the Willett Whalers that are in the room. And for our spotlight event, as our family members continue to join us, I'll turn it over to Assistant Superintendent Regan.
Thank you, Mr. Geddes. So tonight we have Mr. Caton, principal of Willett, and Assistant Principal, Ms. Brierly. They are here with the students and staff to share their Go Big presentation. They'll be highlighting the initiative as it's something that they have put together through a Feinstein grant, focusing on cultivating confidence and resilience for all of our students at Willett. And so with that, I'd like to hand it over to Mr. Caton, and he'll get us started.
Good evening. Thanks for having us tonight, hosting us. We're very excited. Let me give you a little background. As Mr. Regan pointed out, last spring, the Feinstein Foundation and their generosity offered some grants, and Mrs. Bradley and I had a discussion about how can we take advantage of a grant that's being offered through the foundation. And that's what became the seedling and the birth of the Go Big initiative. Mrs. Briley's going to talk about it in just a moment, but the excitement that resonates throughout the building about Go Big and all it has to offer our kids, along with the opportunity to be able to bring in some speakers and some interesting presenters for us that really help kids, especially in the time where we're dealing with social emotional learning. This really spearheads an opportunity for kids to be successful and really think about who they are and how they can be successful and build that confidence. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Bradley to give you a little bit more of a context of what we're up to.
So our Go Big initiative is really designed to inspire children. We recognized a need in our students that although we know that they're very, very capable of achieving, we wanted to inspire them further and to empower them to navigate any challenges and to have the confidence and resilience when they do meet challenges. So in our upcoming video that we'll be playing in a little bit, you'll view a clip from activities and assemblies throughout the year. In order for you to know what you're going to see, I want to explain a couple of the things that we have already done. So we have done everything from affirmation stations. Affirmation stations are those mirrors that you put positive words all around. Every one of our classrooms has an affirmation station that was designed and created by the students and the teachers in that classroom. We also have rallying calls, which you will get to see a tiny little clip of every rallying call for every class. They're sort of their mantra. It's what they believe. And again, the children created the rallying call with their teachers. Every one of our specialists has been involved, from art to PE to health. We've done mindfulness yoga. We've talked about perseverance and grit in our PE classroom. And we have done some art projects on being unique and unique characteristics of all of our students. We've also done a collaborative song, which you will see in the video, between grade 3 and grade kindergarten. We're trying to increase our collaboration among grades. And the song focuses, as Mr. Caton said, on believing in themselves. And we know that we find all of our students incredibly impressive. We know how much that they can achieve, and all of the students that have been invited here tonight are ready to answer some questions for you so that you can see how much they are learning to believe in themselves as well. So we hope you find them as impressive as we do. I'm sure you will. Will this pick up if I turn this way?
Maybe we should have them sit two at a time down there.
The students want to come and sit here, and then you can ask them.
Okay. Perfect. All right, my friends, it's your turn to go big. Okay, so everybody ready? Deep breath. All right. I'd like to start with our grade 4 students. We've been talking about modeling for our younger students. So grade 4, I'd like to invite Jackson and Tegan to come on up. Okay. We'll start with Jackson. Jackson, Willett students have been learning about perseverance and grit. Jackson, what does grit mean to you?
Grit, it means to me, it's something in your mind telling me that I have the courage to complete a goal. Even if it's big, I can just have the grit and courage to achieve the goal I want to achieve.
Thank you. Tegan, what does perseverance mean to you?
Perseverance means to me is that if you have a goal, you need to push through it even if it's hard. If you try to do a split and you give up because it's hard, you will never achieve your goal. You have to keep pushing if it's hard.
Great job. Thank you so much, 4th graders, for being excellent role models for our younger students. You can go back to your spot. And all right, this is Grace and Jacob. They are both in grade 3. We have been working on setting personal goals in order to be our best selves. Grace, what is your goal and what are you doing to reach your goal? Use that big voice if you can, please.
My goal is to represent Willett in the best way that I can. My goal means that I can be trusted and that I can take on some responsibility at a young age. I've been working on listening carefully to my teacher and always respecting the area around me. I'm also taking big risks like coming here tonight and speaking in front of a lot of people.
Excellent job. Jacob, what's your goal and what are you doing to reach your goal?
My goal is to be the best person I can be. This goal means to me so that people can know that I can be kind and that I am a good person. One step to reach my goal is to follow all the rules that are expected and to not to say mean words to other people. One more thing is to be inclusive to other people, even if they are a little different from me.
Nice job. Thank you so much. Next up is Liv and Zach. Come on up. Liv and Zach are also in grade 3. The reason why we have Liv and Zach here is because they were part of the class that did the cross-grade collaboration with kindergarten students. So they're going to talk a little bit about that. All right, our music teacher has done the cross collaboration, and we will get to see the song in our video in just a few minutes, but I want to know what this song meant to you. I want to know how you feel about being role models working alongside younger students. Liv, I'll start with you. How do you feel about being a role model, and what does that mean to you?
Being a role model teaches the kindergartners to never give up and keep doing what they've always wanted to do. And you can do anything if you put your heart to it and keep trying and just never give up.
Great job. All right, Zach, what does the song mean to you?
If you want to give up, you should never give up. And when I started basketball, I could barely dribble, and if I kept practicing and practicing, I can dribble even better than I could before.
Good job. Right, next up, we have Evelyn and Caleb. Hi, Evelyn and Caleb. Tell us about your class's affirmation station and how positive self-talk can help you to reach your goals. Evelyn, we'll start with you.
If you do positive self-talk instead of saying, I can't do this or I can't do that, then you can reach your goals. If I tell myself mean things, then I wouldn't really reach my goals.
Caleb?
My class affirmation station, sometimes when I'm having a hard time in class, I walk over to the station and say, I can do this. And then when I go back to do my work, I normally get it right.
Great job. Next up, we have Mackenzie and Leah. Right, Mackenzie and Leah are in grade 1. And they have been learning about mindfulness and doing a little bit of mindfulness yoga in their health class. So what is mindfulness and what have you learned about how it can help you? Mackenzie, we'll start with you.
If I'm having a bad day, and we have health class, when we usually do yoga to warm up, then it makes me feel better and I have a good day for the rest of the day.
Hey, Leah, what does mindfulness mean to you?
When I get really upset and I don't know what to do, the yoga makes me feel calmed down. And we do child's pose and rock and roll and yoga.
Thank you. Okay, and next we have grade 1, Logan and Rosalie. Come on up. And Mrs. Catoni, would you like to come up and stand next to them for power? There we go. A little motivation from the classroom teacher never hurts, right? All right, so Logan and Rosalie, we like to pump ourselves up and remind ourselves how amazing we really are. So our children helped create a rallying call for their classroom. So we use these in a variety of ways throughout the day, and Rosalie and Logan are going to share their class rallying call with you. So this is what their class came up with together. So whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Logan.
I am awesome. I am cool. I am really good at school. I am kind. I am smart. I am a first grade work of art.
Great job. Mrs. Gattoni has also helped us tremendously with our Go Big initiative, as has Ms. Fisk, who is our behavior paraprofessional. All right. We also have a video here that will kind of highlight all of the different things that we've kind of talked about. And then at the end, we have something a little special for you. So everybody get ready.
Who's amazing? I'm amazing. So are you? I am kindergarten. Love. I am team. Power. Power. Love. We are family. We are family. I am smart. I am a first grade work of art. We give it our best, try not to stress, our smiles never fade. We work hard, we are kind, the best second graders you'll ever find. In room 111 I always say, I have a growth mindset. It's me, there's no one like me. I have a bright future, so bright I have to wear shades. We shine bright like diamonds. 1, 2, 3, I like me, fearless, smart, and proud. Let's say it out loud.
This was goal setting.
If at first you don't succeed, gotta try again.
Those are the words my mama said. Now I'm telling you, my friend. 'Cause if at first you cannot do it, you'll do it in the end.
So if at first you don't succeed, gotta try again.
I
Thank you all very much. Any questions or comments from the committee? Mr. Larson?
Sure, you guys did a fantastic job. I mean, at the grade levels that you're at, to come in front of us and make these presentations, you guys really did a fantastic job. You should be very proud of yourselves. Thank you.
Mr. Domenici?
Thank you. I have to say, so this is the Monday after daylight savings time, right? And everybody talks about it, including our superintendent, that it's usually a pretty grumpy day. And I have to say, this is the exact opposite of what I would consider to be a grumpy day. You guys really came in here with a lot of energy, and that takes a lot of courage to do, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much for being here. You actually made the day just so much better.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
I'd just say, as a former Willett Whaler myself, that was great to see. Yes.
I'll say with the affirmation stations in my office, I have some quotes put up, and one of them is about determination and the difference between the impossible and between what's possible and impossible lies in a person's determination. So hearing about grit and resilience as young as we're hearing about it is fantastic. So I echo everything everyone else has said. Congratulations on coming here tonight. Congratulations to the proud family members that are around the room as well. And thank you for sharing your students with us. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Very much.
Was it the first time we had multiple grades? I can't remember if we ever had.
I feel like at the middle school, we might have.
That's fair.
So the next item on our agenda is subcommittee meetings. We're going to start with policy and personnel, and for that, I will turn it over to Mr. Storrs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Policy and Personnel Subcommittee met last Monday here, and the following motions were voted out unanimously. So first, we had a motion to approve the edits to policy BEDH, public comment at school committee meetings. I'm sure everybody would remember 2 weeks ago, we approved the exhibit that's associated with this policy. So this is just minor edits so that we can align with MASC, and we do have some minor differences based on the exhibit we approved at the last meeting and our practices. This was again voted out unanimously, so I'll put this up to a vote. Any discussion on policy BEDH? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes. Next, we have policy DK, payment procedures. Again, minor edits to fully align with MASC. We used the Finance and Budget Subcommittee within the policy instead of just General Committee for the review of warrants, which is our practice. So other than that, it pretty much aligns with MASC. Again, the policy was provided to the members. Is there any discussion on policy DK? Yes, please.
Said something. So what does it say as far as the approving of the warrants?
So, yeah, the policy, it just says, and it's the standard MASC policy, it says that, MASC policy says that the warrants are provided to the committee, but we provide it to the finance and, the finance and budget subcommittee. And that there is one person who signs the warrants, which is the chairperson of the finance subcommittee, yourself.
Right.
So that's
I'll chat with you.
Yeah.
Offline.
Okay. So no major changes. Yep. Again, it was just more aligning, and then the biggest difference is that instead of using the term committee, we used the finance and budget subcommittee because that is our practice. Okay. Any other discussion on policy DK? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Next, policy EFC, free and reduced food service. We made changes so that we can align with MASC's 2023 rewrite. This required some minor wording difference in one section for clarification. That's it. Any discussion on policy EFC? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, pass. Next, policy EFD, meal charge policy. Again, we're looking to align with MASC's 2023 update, word for word, so minor changes. Any discussion on policy EFD? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous, pass. Next, policy BHE, use of electronic messaging. As the members know, we all now have district emails, and that is MASC's policy. They include wording of that effect, so we edited the policy to fully align with MASC and based on the use of the district email by committee members. Any discussion on policy BHE? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Next, policy LBC, relations with non-public schools. We've made some edits to fully align with MASC. And again, the policy was provided to the members. Any discussion on policy LBC? Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Policy passes. Next, policy IJL, library materials selection and adoption. This was a new MASC policy that they came out with last year, so we are looking to adopt it. It's pretty much just indicates that we we agree with certain things and very general comments about how new book ideas can come into the libraries and the approval process and things of that nature. Is there any discussion on policy IJL? Seeing none. Yeah, please.
Is it we took it strictly from MASC, or do we add anything specific to the district?
It's strictly from MASC.
Thank you.
Okay, any discussion? Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great, unanimous. Policy EHAA, district security relating to technology. This, again, is a new MASC policy that they added in 2023, and we're looking to adopt it word for word. Any discussion on policy EHAA? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimous. And again, policy EHB, data and records retention. This is a new MASC policy that was added in 2023, and we're looking to adopt it word for word. Any discussion on policy EHB? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. We also had two job descriptions. I'll take them both at the same time unless somebody wants to have them split. One job description was for instructional coach and the other for instructional technology coach. These are two positions that are already filled. Just like we've done with some other jobs, we've been looking to get the job descriptions done. Does anybody want them separate? Seeing none, is there any discussion on the job descriptions for instructional coach and instructional technology coach? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimous. All right. Thank you, everybody. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Storrs. Next is an update from our Finance and Budget Subcommittee. For that, I will turn it over to Mr. Larson.
Thank you. Finance and Budget Subcommittee met March 6th. Mr. Furtado and Ms. Perella took us through the monthly budget reports. We had a discussion about the current year budget and FY25 budget and the challenges, both of those. And then we actually started brainstorming about FY26. We have a few motions to bring forward. A lot of them are annual housekeeping. The first one is a motion to approve a contract with Solar Tech Energy.
So
This,
second.
thank you. What this is entering us into a contract to be a customer of a solar farm. Yes.
What are the anticipated savings going forward? I know we're
I believe it's 1.2 cents, if I'm correct.
1 hour is going to be about $5,300 a year.
$5,300 a year. Thank you.
Any other questions? Since the meeting, I have found out that I actually know one of the parties who actually owns part of the land that this is on, so I'm going to excuse myself from voting on this, so I will be abstaining. But if there's any other concerns, all in favor?
Aye.
So that'll be a 6-0 to 1. That motion's approved. The next one is to motion to adopt the fee schedule for the use of facilities, including the Blue Pride Bistro, pending the recommendations of the policy subcommittee. So
moved.
Second.
So as the construction process here is starting to wind down, we're starting to look at the use of the building going forward. Obviously, we want to make parts of the building available to the community who are helping us pay for it. And we want to do that in a reasonable way. And we've started looking at what other people in the area are charging for similar uses of buildings, and that's part of the fee schedule that's in front of you. And basically it's almost a conditional approval because there's parts of this that also will need to be addressed in the policy subcommittee. Anyone have any other questions? Yes.
What does FP and NFP stand for? For profit and not for profit. Thank you.
For profit and not for profit.
Yes.
For those at home.
Any other questions?
Just in
Yes.
addition, did we assign a cost to the Blue Pride Bistro? I didn't see it on the updates.
No, I believe it's coming.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. Okay. The next one is a motion to approve a fee for service fees at $180 per year with a family max of $470.
So moved.
Thank you. So this is a schedule. We've not really made any significant changes to this in recent years. So it's just basically just bringing us up in line with current practices in similar areas and making modest adjustments for ourselves. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And lastly, a motion to adopt a $100 registration fee for the ELC program for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Second.
All right, questions or concerns? Yes.
Did you get any feedback from the ELC leadership on the purpose of the raise? Why they're looking, the problem they're trying to solve for enrollment in the fall?
So we did have a discussion at the subcommittee meeting about it. I don't know if we have received any additional feedback from the ELC since our meeting.
He spoke to Meg. She basically said they have issues with waiting lists. Attempt to at least put some pressure on that situation.
So it's an attempt to address,
That's it.
it's an attempt to address us getting through the wait list more efficiently and quickly to confirm attendance from
Without
those.
having a lot of people get on the wait list that
Yeah.
may or may not actually show up. Any other questions or concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. That is my report.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. Next on the agenda is open forum. Is there anyone here to address the committee at open forum? Seeing none, I will close open forum. A few updates coming up. We have our Teaching and Learning Subcommittee meeting here tomorrow night at 6:30. A reminder again for the Night to Discover on Thursday, March 14th, this Thursday at 6 p.m. here at the high school. Also a general reminder that this Friday is an early release day across the district. Those always creep up on our household, so I want to put that out to everyone else. Our next school committee meeting, full committee meeting, is March 25th here at 6:30. For that event, the students whose artwork is hanging in the conference room will be celebrated, which is exceptionally exciting, but will invite a very large crowd to the meeting. So I just want to give the committee the heads up that those families will be invited to arrive here as early as 6 p.m. to get pictures, for families and students to get pictures around the artwork prior to the meeting, so that when we open the meeting, we can immediately begin celebrating those students without too much disruption to the meeting. So don't be surprised if there's a larger crowd than usual when you arrive here on the 25th. Any other updates or notices for the committee, Mr. Domenici?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to the members of the Attleboro High Drama Club and Music Program. They participated this weekend in the Met G High School Festival semifinals. That's a series of one-act events. My daughter and I were in person at Franklin High. It was a phenomenal show, and I just thought they deserved a little credit for it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
That's what I got.
Any other updates? Excellent. Suddenly I lost my agenda. It was in front of me. So with that, we are going to go into executive session. The Attleboro School Committee will convene an executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Sections 21A2 and 3, to discuss strategy with respect to negotiations with non-union personnel, and to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining, respectively, as an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the school committee. The committee will not return to open session following executive session. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, this will be a roll call vote. I will start with Mr. Frappier.
Sorry, yes.
Mr. Domenici?
Yes.
Mr. Geddes, yes. Mr. Larson?
Yes.
Mr. Storrs?
Yes.
Ms. Porto? Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Motion passes. We will reconvene here in a few moments after everyone has left. Thank you very much and have a great night.